What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Professor X, with Professor X Perspective, where we talk about topics that I feel are relevant: race, religion, careers, relationships, which as far as me personally, I put more emphasis on the relationship and race aspect as far as this channel. I just give my perspective, my point of view on topics that may come to mind, or what's going on around me, or something that I may pick up in the barbershop, and we talk about it. So, today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you all, especially to my returning subscribers. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I hope you're having a good day. To the ladies, as much as possible, you probably celebrate it by your lover, by your significant other, by your husband, by your boyfriend, maybe by your girlfriend. Today's a day of love. And hopefully somebody will take you out to eat or buy you a rose or candy or Be Mine candy that we was passing out back in the 80s. I was thinking about Valentine's Day. So if I actually post this, it'd be like my third video that I'm posting today. But I was thinking about Valentine's Day and remembering that I had looked it up years ago. And life is just, I was just reminded about just how funny, crazy, whatever words you want to use, life can be. Like after you're gone, right? Things that you don't even know is going to happen, can't happen. It's not your intention to happen. But just once a person has passed, a lot of things happens. Like, for instance, Martin Luther King. A lot of activists that have given their lives for not only the African-American community, but for the welfare of humanity. A lot of people have given their lives, and they would not know that 50 years later, even though it's not perfect, but just where we would be 50 years later, 100 years later. So life is just funny like that. So I picked up my phone because I wanted to know. And I just Googled about an hour ago. I Googled how much money will Valentine's Day make or generate this year. And I kind of, I was just thinking, I knew it was like billion because I had heard in the past that it was a very lucrative business day. So, in my mind, I was like, $8-9 billion. $27.5 billion is expected to be generated today. February 14th, 2025. $27.5 billion is expected to be generated today. And so it made me think, like I was saying, just how life is. Because I thought to myself, most people, especially the younger generation, probably have no idea where Valentine's Day come from. Not that we have to know to celebrate it necessarily, but it's kind of an interesting story. And so most people probably don't even know, yet it's creating $27.5 billion for a holiday, a celebration, a time of love, especially towards the woman, a time of acknowledging her. That's what the roses and the candy and the chocolate and the dinner and the flowers and the massages kind of cater to you day. $27.5 billion. So for those who don't know, and if my memory serves me correctly, because I didn't go back and look it up again, but I had looked it up years ago, just in my curiosity. About 270 AD, there was an emperor, Claudius II. I'm kind of a history buff. I like history. And he had put a ban on marriages because there was a lot of things going on in Rome, surrounding Rome at the time. Of course, there was always in a battle just all those years. So he had put a ban on marriages because he felt that a married soldier would have less energy and would not be as willing to fight as a single soldier, which it do have merit to it, if that's just the reason. I remember in high school when playing sports, basketball, football, baseball, the coaches was very clear that the nights leading up to the game, they would tell the team, y'all leave y'all girlfriends alone. Because it was the understanding that you're going to get your energy drained and not be able to produce on the court or on the field the next day. Now, whether we listen to them or not, that's another story, but we was at least told. So, in theory, it do kind of make sense that you would not want your soldiers to be married due to the fact that they would not have as much energy as a single soldier. Okay, that's true. But there was a Roman priest named Valentine. And of course, him being a priest, supporting the church, pro-marriage, he was marrying people anyway, even though the emperor Claudius had said don't do it. So basically, Valentine the priest was going to continue to support the church, which says marry, even though the emperor, said don't do it, put a ban on it. He did anyway. When Claudius found out about it, he had him in prison. They beat him to death with sticks and clubs, and then had his cut off. And that's how we get to Valentine's Day. Later on, he was declared a saint, and the history goes on. But that's the history of how we get to Valentine's Day. A priest who supported marriage stood up for the church against the emperor's demands and said, I'm gonna do it anyway. And he did it in secret. And he got found out. Lost his life. And thousands of years later, there's going to be $27.5 billion spent and made over a story that most people don't even know about. Commercialism can do a lot, can't it? 27.5. So anyway, on this Valentine's Day, as y'all are taking your ladies out, or maybe you already took them out, you're coming back in, you're getting off work. Fellas, while you getting fresh, while you getting right, while you spraying that 1 million, you putting on your fresh clothes, making sure you match, your wife, girlfriend checking you out, making sure you look good, while you loading up the kids, while you trying to figure out where you want to go. My boy's old Madden, like his daughter wanting to go to seafood. We'll see later where they end up going. While that conversation is being made and you load them all up in the car, just remember, this is where it come from. Saint Valentines lost his life in the support of marriage, which I guess that's where we're gonna, love marriage. That's where I guess it's gonna trickle down that way. And today will be a day of love because somebody lost their life for a greater cause. It's actually a day of defiance. Really, if you think about it, it's a day of defiance. It's a great cause, but it still took somebody to defy the system at the time and said, I'm not going for it. I'm gonna do something different. So really, it's a day of defiance. But happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy it. And I don't know if anybody ever looked that story up before. Put in the comments if anybody ever read up on St. Valentine's and see what today was really about. And what would y'all have guessed that this day would generate as far as money? I was way off. I was like 9 billion, but whatever y'all would have guessed, put in the comments, and y'all enjoy y'all evening. Be blessed.